This will be a look at Joey Porter Jr.'s first NFL interception. Of course, it's a preseason play, so it won't count in terms of his career stats, but I think it gives you a little bit of an illustration of how strong Joey Porter Jr. is, number one. Number two, how much ground he can cover or he can threaten to cover. I do like the fact, and I think it's really interesting that he's playing left corner for the Steelers. Now, hopefully some Steelers fans watch this video, but from my experience of watching the Steelers defense, generally the edge players, the outside linebackers, TJ Watt, Highsmith, and others, James Harrison, were generally right and left guys. One guy played on the left side, one guy played on the right side. There's a lot of positives for that. Guys get to play in the same stance often. Some guys play better in a right-handed stance versus a left-handed stance. Some players are really good at switching sides to the tight end side, to the weak side, to the boundary, to the field. Same thing applies to the corners, at least in my experience. I wish I could go back and watch all 22 film from 20 years ago, whatever, when Dick LeBeau was running things, because it seems to me that systemically his corners were left and right as well. And I may be wrong with that. Here lately, I have seen a lot of left and right corners with them. I have always felt like their left corner was the guy who had to be a little bit more multiple in coverage. I'm talking about split field coverages, one coverage being called on the left-hand side of the field and one coverage being called on the right. That's why I'm glad to see Joey Porter Jr. playing on the left side, because they have to me, if I'm correct in my assertion, that means they have high expectations for him. He's going to be expected to be multiple. This is going to be his first interception week 2 of the preseason against Buffalo, and I think you're getting a cover 2 concept here. We're going to let this run multiple times and talk about, a handful of things here. You got a 2, and there's really nobody threatening the middle of the field, so the Mike linebacker 55 isn't running the pipe, meaning he's not turning and running vertically with someone going vertical. It's because really, a Tampa 2 is really a cover 3 with the Mike linebacker playing the middle third, the middle portion of the field. He's just not responsible for an actual third. I would say it's more like a fifth. But in any case, look at Joey Porter Jr. is getting an outside release here, allows him to cover more ground versus the corner to the other side. This is a hard-coded coverage, I believe, where you got 2 to both sides of the field. So not like I was describing a split field coverage. Look, the release here by this receiver is inside. So the corner is able to maintain outside leverage with his butt and his back to the sideline, like a lot of corners prefer to be nowadays anyway. So Porter Jr. is turning, this is a man turn, even though he's obviously not playing man. He's just playing his flats, but doing it in a manner that lets the quarterback think for a moment that it might be man, and that may be why Matt Barkley is getting rid of this ball now, trying to throw it up the sideline. But Porter is so strong, he's pushed the receiver out of bounds. You can see the referee throw his hat down because he recognizes the receiver went out of bounds, and then it's just thrown right to Porter. I mean, directly to him. Barkley's throw clearly is underthrown by 4 or 5 yards, so it's kind of a gimme. But I think Porter kind of puts himself in position to play this, to get this interception because of the way that he carries this out. But, just so you know, you got twin slot A, so you got running back, tight end, same side, twins up to the field. So in this case, he's playing left corner. He doesn't have the benefit of the nickel helping him to the inside. His inside help is the other safety, what is a dime backer, basically, in this look. It's a 1st and 10, but it looks like to me it's a dime backer. You can see the cover 2 delineation and the relationship of this corner to the receiver being outside leverage but to the sideline is different from Porter's because of the receiver's release. Were we to get an inside release by that receiver, I believe Porter would try to be as physical as possible and jam that guy to the inside and then settle back into his flats. He's able to cover a lot of range. I can't wait to see him in all of the coverages that the Steelers play. I didn't go through, more than like 6 plays. I believe in Joey Porter Jr. I was a Penn State football fan, to be real with you. Try to watch as much Penn State football as I can, and Maryland. Those are the 2 teams I follow, but with the amount of NFL work that I try to get done during the season, I can't always really watch it during the season, so I save it up. I got Big Ten Network and watch it after the season. You got a clear face mask on the right tackle, I think, against Nate Herbig, who's an underrated guy that I think is playing really well for them so far. I've only seen probably 12 or 14 reps, but I think you got a face mask right here. Thing I like about Herbig, maybe he's learned this from Watt and Highsmith because they're so damn good, is he seems to threaten with the speed rush, the edge rush, the outside rush early to kind of establish that. And as a Ravens fan, that's one of the things I'd like to see some of our guys do is Go ahead and give him the fastball early. Show him what the fastball is, and then they might have to adjust to it. He's getting held here, face mask, I should say. Barkley's pass is severely underthrown, so it's a gimme for Joey Porter Jr. He's not going to get a whole lot of those, obviously, against starting quarterbacks in the NFL, but I think he's a far better corner than people were talking about pre-draft season. For the Steelers and Steelers fans, I hope you guys are happy that you were able to get this guy. As a Ravens fan, for A, I'm jealous, and B, it doesn't make me happy that the Steelers just got another hard-nosed, physical, big, strong, and athletic corner who's willing to put his hands on people. I think this play kind of illustrates some of those traits. I'll try to find some plays of him in cover 3 or maybe man that maybe aren't as complimentary. I don't know, to be honest with you. Like I said, I haven't watched more than probably 2 possessions, maybe 3 in that Bills-Steelers game. But in any case, let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you're excited for Joey Porter Jr. If you're a Steelers fan, you probably are. If you're a Ravens fan, Bengals, or Browns fan, you're probably not. If you think other Steelers fans would enjoy this video, please consider grabbing a link to it, sharing it somewhere on social media to help this content get more reach.